What's up, party people? I am MoserRS, and today I have a guide for you on how to complete the Tower of Spell S-Rank dungeon in Dekaron. Not only is this dungeon required for the Dungeon Master quest, but it also has a chance to drop the Mana Crystalline, which can be exchanged for the MC1 helmet. So, make sure to tune in to this video. Anyway, let's get this party started. The Tower Spell Dungeon is located in the Worshipper's Shelter. In order to get there, you're going to take the teleporter from Ardeka to Crespo. Once you get to Crespo, you're going to run northeast and head to the Crack of the Valley. Once you're at the Crack of the Valley, you're going to head west, and there you will be able to enter the Worshipper's Shelter. Once in the Worshipper's Shelter, you're just going to head in, head north, and you will see the entrance to the Tower of Spell Dungeon. Before heading into the dungeon, I highly recommend talking to the Captain Explorer NPC located southwest of the dungeon. I recommend taking his bet quest as well as the Stop the Ritual quest. This will get you some fortress vouchers and a free camouflage, which you can use to do some of your daily dungeons more than once a day. Once you are ready and you have more than 2 players, you can go ahead, buff on up, and head into the dungeon. Once inside, you are going to pull the lever located right by where you go in, and you will head into the first floor of the dungeon. Now, this floor is pretty simple. All you have to do is follow the path that you can see here in my video and kill the monsters as you go along. You need to make sure that you kill all of these monsters. If you don't, you will not be able to continue and pull the lever. Once you get to the end of the path here, killing all the monsters, you're going to pull the lever, and then that will activate the next part of the floor. Right next to the lever, you're going to take a teleporter, which takes you back kind of towards the beginning of this floor. And there you're going to stand next to the entrance of the door to the boss arena. Now here you're just going to keep killing the monsters until they're all dead, and then the doors will open up. Once the doors are open up, you're going to head in and you're going to fight the boss for this floor. This boss is not very complicated. All you really have to do is DPS him down. Most of the time, if your damage is good enough, you're not even going to have to deal with any of his mechanics. But if you do, all they are is if he turns you a specific color, you have to stand on that portal to remove that damage bubble to prevent a bunch of damage. Once you have killed this boss, you're going to head out of the room and back to where you were, and you're going to follow me here to the door to the next level of this dungeon. Welcome to floor 2 of the Tower of Spell. Now, as you are going to find out very quickly, this dungeon involves a lot of running. You're going to be running down a lot of paths and killing a lot of monsters and dodging a lot of spikes and all that kind of stuff. Basically, as you run, kill the monsters or mob them all up at the end and kill the monsters. It doesn't matter to me. You can do whatever you think is faster, and don't get hit by the spikes because the spikes do a good amount of damage. That's going to be a common theme in this dungeon, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but, run through this area, and you will find yourself at the entrance to the first boss fight of this floor. The first boss of this floor is the Hard Arc Spider. Not a very hard boss. You just have to watch out for when this boss cocoons you in their web. Other than that, you're just going to DPS this boss down. Watch out for attacks. If your monster damage is high enough, as with any, monster in this dungeon, it's not going to be a very hard fight. Otherwise, you can, kind of stay out of this spider's range so you don't take the melee attack, which is probably the hardest hitting attack this boss has. Anyway, go ahead, kill this boss, and continue down the path. And here we go, more path running. So just, once again, run down this path, kill the monsters until you reach the entrance to the final boss of this floor. This boss is going to be very similar to the boss you fought before, although it's going to be a little bit stronger. It has this ability to spawn these eggs on the floor, and if you get hit by them when they explode, it deals a lot of damage. I personally recommend just luring the boss outside of the room into the hallway, and then you won't have to worry about any of those spider eggs. Anyway, DPS down this boss and head to the stairs so you can head to the next floor. Here we go, floor number 3. And if you haven't guessed it already, yes, you are going to be running down some more paths. So, go ahead, kill some more monsters, run as fast as you can. They'll never catch you because you're the Dekaron man? Dekaron female? Dekaron whatever you are? I don't know. You get the picture. Run, get to the end of the path, and you are going to start by going through the door to the right or to the east. Once you head through this door, there are going to be 3 mana statues. Go ahead and kill all 3 of these mana statues. They don't have a ton of HP, so you should be able to kill them relatively quick, but as you are killing them, the Creator's Furies NPCs will continue spawning until you kill them, so that can potentially become overwhelming if you don't take them out pretty quick, so be careful of that there. Now, after taking out the Mana Stones, you are going to head across the hallway, and you are going to be facing another boss. Now, this boss can potentially be pretty dangerous. This is MoserRS. Now, You're just going to go ahead, you're going to attack him, you're going to DPS him down. Now, he does have a special attack, though, and it'll give you a warning when that's about to happen, and he'll raise his little gun in the air. When this happens, if you're worried that it's going to do too much damage to you, you can break one of those creation crystals, and it will shield you and your party members, and that can definitely help keep you alive. However, if you have a good amount of monster damage tolerance, or you have some ability that prevents damage, like I have my bubble as a wizard, or if you're like a baggy or something, you can use that, and you probably won't need the creation crystals. Anyway, after defeating MoserRS, you are going to head up the stairs to the 4th floor of this dungeon. This floor is the last large floor of the dungeon, so you can look forward to almost getting to the end of this dungeon. There's only one more floor. Now, you're going to head to this floor, and once again, you're just going to kill monsters, and you're going to run forward. Once you get past these kind of annoying monsters that can knock you back, you are going to get to this monument, and you're going to activate that monument to summon the next boss of this dungeon. Now, this boss can be pretty frustrating if you don't have a lot of damage, because he runs all over the room. One way you can mitigate that is if you head to the north side of this room, west side of this room. I believe it's the west side of this room. You can get him kind of trapped in the staircase, and then he can't run around as much, which makes him easier to kill. Anyway, he does have some pretty high damage, so keep an eye on your health, kill him, and continue down the path. After a short run, you will find yourself in the next boss room. Once inside, you're going to activate the switchgear. Now, activating the switchgear is going to cause a bunch of monsters to run towards you. You just have to kill those monsters. They're not very strong. But once all of those monsters are dead, the final boss of this floor will spawn. Now, this boss is fairly easy, but you want to be careful because he has a couple mechanics to watch out for. One, he can put bleeds on you. Now, if he puts bleeds on you, it's going to cause your HP to rapidly drain, so if you're not watching your HP, you could potentially die. Also, it's not shown in this video, but he does have an ability where he takes everyone in the party to 1 HP, and if that happens, you just need to make sure that you use some potions and stuff right away afterwards, or he can kill you in one hit. So, you're going to go ahead, you're going to take this boss out, and you are going to head up the stairs to the final floor of this annoyingly long dungeon. Okay, here we go, guys. Final stretch. 5th floor of the dungeon. All you're going to do is run forward and kill the monsters as you go. Once you get to the end, you're going to activate the lever in the final room to spawn a bunch of these mage wizard things, and you can kill those. Note, to kill them a little bit faster so they're not all spread out, you can run back around the corner, and then they'll all stack up on you, which makes it a little bit faster. We didn't do that here, but that is definitely an option when completing this dungeon, and will speed it up a little bit if you're trying to do fast runs. Now, you're going to kill those wizards, and then the final boss is going to spawn Neo-Duex Marble. Surprisingly enough, he's not that hard of a boss. As this is an older dungeon, it's not that hard in general if you have some of the more up-to-date items, but you do want to watch out for those HP bleeds again. They can be very dangerous, and if you're not paying attention, you can die, and if you don't have a seg, then you can't, then like your whole party has to wait for you to get back here, and it takes a really long time. So just watch out for the bleeds and kill the boss. Once again, he does have some other things, but because of all the items that are in the game now, you're really not going to have any trouble with this boss. Another important thing to note about this boss is he does have the potential to drop the Mana Crystalline. Now, the Mana Crystalline can be exchanged for a MC1, which is a good mid-tier helmet. I think it's like level 158 or something like that, or 150, I can't remember. But it's a good helmet, and even though most people have better helmets now, it still sells for a decent amount because they're not very common. So I would definitely recommend picking that up and exchanging it for a helmet if you do get it. And I'll show you how to get that helmet once we get outside of the dungeon here. Anyway, kill the boss, head outside of the dungeon, and woo, congratulations, you have completed the dungeon. Once you're outside of the dungeon, don't forget to head back to the first NPC we talked to and turn in your 2 quests. This will get you 60 Fortress vouchers, a camouflage, and some nice experience. The last thing I want to mention is that if you do happen to get the Mana Crystalline drop, you can head to the NPC Muscle, which is just a little bit north of the NPC where you turned in your daily quests. Now, here you can exchange your Mana Crystalline for any of the helmets for any of the classes. So you can see them here, and it tells you the additional stats that all of them get. And just so you know, this isn't like a helmet that you need to be plussing up or anything when you get it. It's already at its max, stats. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the comments. And until next time, guys, take care.